Goodbye, goodbye, my love, forever lullaby. You work, there is no magic anymore. We meet as other people do. You work no miracle for me, nor I for you. You work the wind and I the sea. There is no splendor anymore. I have grown listless as the pool beside the shore. But though the pool is safe from the storm and from the tide has found surcease, it grows more bitter than the sea for all its peace. It still feels like a nightmare so bad. I can't believe I'm living the situation every lover dreads. My tears keep flowing like drops of rain, but to my utter surprise, tear by tear goes away my pain. I find peace in a newfound liberation, no longer bounded by love and intimidation. Neither of us is happy, but neither of us wants to leave, so we keep breaking one another and calling it love from above. There was once a love poem before its haunches thickened, its breath grew short, before it found itself sitting, perplexed and a little embarrassed, on the fender of a parked car, while many people pass by, turn without turning their heads. It remembers itself dressing as if for a great engagement. It remembers choosing these shoes, this scarf or a tie. Once it drank beer for breakfast, drifted its feet in a river side by side with the feet of another. Once it pretended shyness, then grew truly shy, dropping its head so the hair would fall forward so the eyes would not be seen. It spoke with passion of history of art. It was lovely then, this poem under its chin. No fold of the skin softened behind the knees, no pad of yellow fat. What it knew in the morning, it still believed at nightfall, and conjured confidence lifted its eyebrows, its cheeks forlorn, and has not diminished. Still it understands it is time to consider a cultivation of African violets, a flowering cactus. Yes, it decides many miniature cacti and blue and red painted pots. When it finds itself disquieted by the pure and unfamiliar silence of its new life, it will touch them one, then another, with a single finger outstretched like a tiny flame. Love comes as a garment sewn together from the deep depths of creation. And when seasons rend it apart, after it served us with dark days of joy and warmth, we break down like a bombed wall and crumble as we fall. If I could unspeak the words I have spoken, or go back to change the street I have taken, so that we never met, I tried to grasp back with faith, clumsy hands that spring forward to catch you as you leave. Though I watch you go, I stand rooted to the spot. Legs seeking to walk by your side, but when you took your flight on wings I never knew you had, I cannot shout, I cannot speak, for words rush to my eyes and raise a storm with raindrops upon my face, but then sunlight through my tears creates a rainbow amidst my fears. Hatred is the new love, rage is right, touch is touch. The collars of the coat turn down, point up. The corners of our hearts are smoothed with rough. Our glass breaks slick, our teeth rip soft. The mollusk of me shellless. And if the future once was the past predicted us. The street gives off rhythm, the sun gives off dusk. When we walk, we pour backward. When we have nothing, it's enough. But hunger leaves us unsatisfied. The fullness leaves us run. The sum of all its parts is whole. The reap of it has roots, and not took or plucked. Far apart, we move inside our clothes. Open as old, young as closed. The veins we used to bear our milk, teeth grown from gums. The fire we used to be scabbed by numbs. We run on the track of our consumption. Done, we've been ice and liquid is our natural state. We've worn our husks, we've clenched our fists, we scold and punish straight, pay a price, we dole out in slanders what was no way We pay in cringing for the moments. We open injuries in one another. We lacerate places that flex like knuckles crack and grow. We are sipping from the water's thirst. We were lost at first from the finish begun. We undergo the pain the other knows. We are cartoon yards where dogs dig for lost bones. Esoteric, we are full of holes that need to be filled, that need to be dug. We are underloved, we are underknown. Give to us, and we are downcast and uplifted and sift like water and sand like stone. We are greedy, we are gone, we are helpless, we are prone. Drain us or fill us, and we'll ache a vast installment. Let us empty, let us alone. Madness is our happiness, sadness is our home. All good things come to an end, even the gifts that God sends. Like her, the angel he sent from above, who was the one person I truly loved. She changed everything and made my life worthwhile. She was the only one who could make me smile. She really doesn't understand how much she means. I'll never be as happy as I've seen. She was my heart and my soul. She filled me with joy and made me whole. She was my world, my greatest treasure. I loved her so much that couldn't be measured. I remember every kiss and touch, all our memories I miss so much. I wish we could go back in time when I was hers and she was mine. I protect her and let nothing harm her. How ironic it was though that she was my mirror, my armor. She always made me feel so secure, no matter what went wrong. She always had a cure. With her, I felt absolutely no fear, but now I'm scared of anything that comes near. She healed me and put me back together, so I held on to her. She was my tether. You ever wake up with your footsie PJs warm and your neck like a noose? Ever up chuck after a home cooked meal, or notice how the blood on the bottoms of your feet just won't seem to go away? Love, it used to be you could retire your toothbrush for like 2 or 3 days and still I'd push away my downy face into your neck. Used to be at hung on your every word, and it used to be now I like to break up. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. Here comes the start of every sleepless night. The first of every tear I'm gonna cry. Here comes the pain. Here comes me wishing things would just remain the same and never change, but she was right here in my arms tonight. And here comes goodbye. Why does everything have to go from good to gone before the light turns on and I'm left here all alone? I gave you all of me, and you gave me all of you. Yes, it's true. I don't hate you because I still love you. I can't look at you because it hurts to. We don't talk because there is nothing left to say. You apologize, but I just walked away. I'm leaving you and the thought of you behind because I just need to clear my mind. I'm angry because you wasted my time, hurt because I believed that you were mine, but I just didn't see the signs. But I just didn't see the signs. I guess that's why they say love is blind, because you got my heart caught in binds. Look me in my eyes and listen as my heart cries out in pain. This feeling makes me feel like I'm covered in flames until ashes are all that remain. Thought you were different, but you're all the same. Thought this was real, but it was all a game. I gave you my love, and you gave it away. That's why my heart is blue and my skies are gray. Will I ever see the light of day? Will this dark cloud ever go away? Or will it follow me for my remaining days? Grasp all my joy and strip it away. No, I am too bold, way too bold to be stuck in the cold. I am way too strong not to carry on. Never stops inside of my head. The echoes begin again and again. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. Here comes the start of every sleepless night. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm sorry you're blue. Sorry about all the things that I said to you. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I remember all the days we came all this way, the sleepless nights and the tears you cried. It's never too late to make this right. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm sorry you're blue. Sorry about all the things that I said to you. And I know I just can't say goodbye. I could ask you to stay, but there's really nothing left to say. This breakup has been emotional and long, but I know I am strong. I guess we naturally grew apart, but it still hurts in my heart. We spent days without speaking or sending a text, and I could only wonder what was next. There were times we couldn't look each other in the eye. How did we get this far? And why did something so special have to die? As I spit, just memories flood me. They remind of all we used to be, even when things were bad. I never thought this relationship would ever end. Our broken hearts, I thought we could mend. Now you've left without a goodbye. I've got no energy to even cry. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. I knew it was over when we started doing things on our own. You got so distant and I was all alone. I tried getting you to notice that I was still there, but you made up your mind and you really didn't care. There are many things when you're all that's on my mind. I hope happiness is what you find. There are days when I just can't get out of bed, but try is what you always said. So every day I try to put on a smile, even if it's not a real one for a while. We were together for so many years, so do you ever even shed the tears? Yes, it's true. Mom cried out over you. Yes, it's true. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. Here comes the start of every sleepless night, the first of every tear. I'm gonna cry. Here comes the pain. Here comes me wishing things would just remain the same. It just never changed. But she was right here in my arms tonight. But here comes goodbye. When we two parted in silence and tears, half broken hearted to separate for years. Pale grew by cheek and cold, colder by kiss. Surely that hour foretold sorrow to this. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here and eat." You will love again a stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to a stranger who has loved you. We stood by upon that winter day, and the sun was white as though children of God, and a few leaves lay on the starving sod. They had fallen from an ash and were gray. Your eyes on me, as eyes were as eyes that rove and over tedious riddles of years ago, and some words played between us to and fro, of which lost not more by our love. I know a poem carrying the love of a former partner with you always. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it anywhere. I go, you go, my dear. Na, 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 inside of my head, the demons begin, the echoes again inside of my head. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. Here comes the start of every sleepless night, the first of every tear. I'm gonna cry. And whispers of twilight dim. Her eyes trace lines of her kindest friend. She often been as one with him, where vows were meant to never end. But in her heart, a secret blooms, a love that's not for vows and frames. And in the pause, her conscience looms, a silhouette filled with guilt and shame. His face smiles from behind the glass, and knowing of her silent war of lustful moments that can't not last. And a stranger pressing in for more, but still she stares upon the frames. Has every thrust a silent plea. Two lives will never be the same. Her lust will never set her free. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. The start of every sleepless night. The first of every tear. I'm gonna cry, baby, 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 won't you always be mine, baby, 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 somber, I refuse to let me cry. Let me lay me down to sleep in a bed you do not lie. Emotionless tone when I speak to you, even dry, void of excited inflection, because I can't risk hurting you more. If you knew how relived I was that you're done, relieved that you were done. My goal was to survive the tides, but now I question what it was for. Did I sacrifice my humanity too long to believe I'm a good person anymore? Oh, no, here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time to start up every sleepless night, first up every tear. I'm gonna cry. Here comes the pain. Here comes me wishing things would just remain the same and just never change. But she was right here at my arms tonight. But here comes goodbye. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm sorry you're blue. Sorry about all the things that I said to you. Just wanted to say I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm sorry you're blue. All these sleepless days. Think about how we came all this way. The sleepless nights and the tears you cry. It's never too late to make things right. So yeah, I'm sorry, babe. And I never want to say goodbye. Do you ever think I will ever come back? Did you ever contemplate our lives will ever be back on track? We have moved out, my dear, not from love we have had or the lack of trying from, but from the time we drifted apart or didn't come back. Did you ever think I will ever beg again? Did you once remind yourself of the sorrow caused and the pain? I'll never go back to a life now that I recall the misery and the chain. I locked myself inside a cell. I have been trying to escape in vain. Did you ever think I will forever be your toy? Do you ever dream one day I'll cease to be your playboy? You cannot make me go back as much as you love and enjoy playing with feelings like a mistress of hell or Helen of Troy. Seriously, you have much to think of, and I have my whole life to enjoy. Goodbye, goodbye, I say in the rhyme. Goodbye, I say in the rhyme. My tears burn your mangled thumb as you gently cut my cheek. This last time, our foreheads pressed, eyes closed, whispering, I'm sorry, like a mantra from both mouths. My hands are fists in your shirt to form to the taste of holding on to something we let die a few times back, and I'm sorry this time because I want to fold in your arms like a wrinkled shirt on a hanger and bleed away. That's a fucking nightmare. So I wake up tomorrow where you and I are. I want to dance until the end of love with you, like the Leonard Cohen song, and what wake up in that over other life where you fucking say it back. But I'll say it for both of us in this life. I love you, goddamn us. I love you beyond any coherent thoughts of righteous fury. And I hate this way I feel about you in this last few weeks of hospice, and how I have to pull our life support because you made me die for your sins. And over and over and over, I love you, and I love you beyond this stupid fucking life and walls and worlds. You were the fucking sun on my ocean, and the way I felt about you was the shit they made legends of. And I'm ready, I think, to taste the skin of your mouth a final time so I can live until the next life when you'll want me enough. Jesus, this is hard. When you'll want me enough the first time we meet to throw all your fucking bullshit in a wood chipper and make love to me in a field where fairies live, or some such Valderro, something as romantic as those days we lived in winter. Fuck, I want to die. This time it's me, it's really me, it's not you. And just like that Eminem song, life is no Nintendo game. We don't get a next time this time. God, I don't want to do this. Maybe not a next time now. Wow, but in the next life, I'll burn for you the way I burn now. I hunger for you with the shrunken stomach starvation. Brains I get standing just outside of your arms, and when we lock eyes across the room, there won't be a need for a key. Oh God, this is hard. Baby, oh, won't you always be mine? I'm sorry, I want to be in your arms when the lights go out. In this place, there's nowhere I'd rather be. I still want you, I want to stand on a cliff as the asteroid hits, and it's all come crashing down as we fuck a final hallelujah. Hallelujah. I want to feel your teeth break skin as you peel my clothes off with my back arched over your arms as an offering, and I just want to find the cure to desire on an injection of your lust. But I can't, and I'm so sorry. It's not fair for me to refuse your hand when you've asked me to stay these last nights on our earth and ask you to hold me, but none of this has been fair to anyone but motherfuck. But will you hold me once more, wrap me in your big arms, and make me feel lost and found at the same time? Embrace my shaking shoulders with your wonderful hand. I miss it all beyond words, baby, baby, baby. Oh, will you always be mine? And tell me one more lie that I'll promise to believe against as your well met truths as you trace goodbye on my shoulders. Tell me it'll be okay. Just tell me it'll be okay, okay. And when you walk away, don't look back at this life. Just know, fucking no, oh God, no. I'll be there waiting. And the next baby, baby, we always be mine. Only God knows why. Rhyme. That love is blind. You're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. And only God knows why. That love is blind. Only God knows why. That love is blind. You're always on my mind. All good things come to an end. You're the gift that God sends, like her the angel he sent from above, who was the person I truly loved. She changed everything in my life worthwhile. She was the only one who could make me smile. Oh, she really doesn't understand how much she means. I'll never be as happy as I've been. She was my heart and my soul. She filled me with joy and made me whole. She was my world, my greatest treasure. I loved her so much that it couldn't even be measured. I remember every every kiss, and every touch. All our memories I miss so much. I wish we could go back in time when I was hers and she was mine. I'd always protect her and let nothing harm her. How ironic it was, though, that she was my armor. She was always on my mind. Rhyme after rhyme, baby, baby, baby. And won't you always be mine? Only God knows why, baby, baby, baby. Won't you always be mine? Only God knows why. Only God knows why. These words of a rhyme never stop inside of my mind. Only God knows why. Only God knows why. These words of a rhyme will never stop in my mind. Since my breakup, I realized the importance of frets from depth, weighing down a relationship. Since my breakup, I have made a promise to not have one monthly obligation, regardless of sacrifice. Since my breakup, I moved in with family in order to save money and paid cash for a camper so I could live rent free. Since my breakup, I paid for a pickup that easily could last me the next 20 years to come, not paying one penny to interest. Since my breakup, I have been saving as much as possible versus financing my American dream. Since my breakup, I bought a sports car that was the one to have when I was in high school, another goal I'm proud of. Since my breakup, I have divided and conquered all the debts and frets, monthly obligations, and rearranged my desires. Since my breakup, I have realized that I want, and I am proud to say I have finally purchased my own piece of land. Since my breakup, I have discovered my desire to live simple, and my next mission is to build a home on my land by dirt. That just hurts. You're always on my mind. Only God knows why. Only God knows why that love is blind. This time I have a lot to say. Was thinking my time away that everything inside it never comes out right. And when I see you cry, it makes me want to die. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm sorry, I'm blue. Sorry about all the things that I said to you. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry every single day. I think about how we came all this way, the sleepless nights and the tears you cried. Baby, it's never too late to make things right, and I just never want to say goodbye. Never give all the heart for love, while hardly seem worth thinking of. Too passionate woman if it seem certain, and they never dream that it fades out from kiss to kiss. For everything that's lovely is but a brief dreamy kind of light. Will never give the heart outright, for all smooth lips can say, have given their hearts up to the play, and who could play it well enough if deaf and dumb and blind with love? He fought and made this knows all the cost, for he gave all his heart and lost until a broken heart no other one may go without the high prerogative itself half suffered too. Yesterday the fields were only gray with scattered snow, and now The longest grass leaves hardly emerge, yet her deep footsteps mark the snow and go on toward the pines at the hill's white verge. I cannot see her since the mist's white scarf obscures the dark wood and the dull orange sky. But she's waiting. I know, impatient and cold, half sobs struggling into her frosty sigh. Why does she come so promptly when she must know that she's only the nearer to the inevitable farewell? The hill is steep, I'm a snow, my steps are slow. Why does she come when she knows what I have to tell? Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. Here comes the start of every sleepless night, the first of every tear I'm gonna cry. Here comes the pain. Here comes me wishing things would just remain the same and just never change. But she was right here in my arms tonight. I know what my heart is like since your love died. It is like a hollow ledge holding a little pool, left there by the tide. A little tepid pool, dried inward from the edge. And I loved you, and it may be from my soul. The former love has never gone away, but let it not recall to you my dole. I wish not to sadden you in any way. I loved you silently, without hopefully, and diffidence and jealousy and pain. I loved you so tenderly and truly, as left you else be loved by another man. Why did you have to go away and leave me with a broken heart? I prayed and prayed that you would stay. Why did you have to go away? Now every day is dark and gray. I never thought we'd be apart. Why did you have to go away and leave me with a broken heart? So call me not to me to justify the wrong that thy unkindness lays upon my heart. Would me not but with thine eye, but with thy tongue. Use power with power, and slate me not by art. Tell me thou lovest elsewhere. Tell me thou lovest elsewhere, but in my sight, a dear heart, forbear to glance thine eyes aside. What needest thou a wound with cunning when thy might is more than my oppressed defense can bide? Let me excuse thee, my love well knows her pretty looks have been mine enemies, and therefore from my face she turns my foes, that they elsewhere might dart their injuries, yet do not so. But since I am near slain, kill me outright with looks and rid my pain insane. Proud of my broken heart, since thou didst break it, proud of the pain I did not feel till thee, proud of my night, since thou with noons doust slake it, and not to partake thy passion, my humility. Thou canst not boast like Jesus, drunken without companion was the song, a strong cup of anguish brewed for the Nazarene. Thou canst not pierce tradition with the peerless puncture. See, I usurped thy crucifix to honor mine. Here comes goodbye. Here comes the last time. Here comes the start of every sleepless night, the first of every tear I'm gonna cry. Here comes the pain. Here comes me wishing things just remain the same and just never change. I loved you more than I have ever known. Those starry eyes, those tender lips, you make my heart melt and then boil into a roaring fire. I know now what my eyes could not see. You are the only one that is there for me. Many nights those tears flew, being myself without anyone to care for about those thoughts. Looking at the sky and knowing many mistakes I have had. That time I thought I could not go any closer to grief without dying. I went closer and I did not die. Surely God has his hand in this, as well as friends. Still I was bent, and my laughter, as the poet said, was nowhere to be found. Then said my friend Daniel, he is a stark mad, whoever says that he hath been in love an hour, yet not that love so soon decays, though that it can't pretend in less space devour. Who will believe me if I swear that I have had the plague a year? Who would have not laughed at me if I should say I saw a flash of powder burn a day? Ah, what a trifle is a heart! As a heart, if once into love's hands it come, all other griefs allow apart to other griefs and ask themselves, but some they come to us, but us love draws. He swallows us and never chaws. By him answer, by chain shot, whole ranks do die. He is a tyrant pike, our hearts a fry. If 'twere not so, what did become of my heart when I first saw thee? I brought a heart into the room, but from the room I carried none with me. If I had gone to thee, I know mine would have taught a mine heart to show more pity unto me, but love at last at one a verse blow did shiver it as glass. Yet nothing can do, nothing fall, not any place be empty quite. Therefore I think my breast hath all those pieces still, though they be not unite. And now as broken glasses show 100 lesser faces, so my rags of heart can like wish and adore, but after one such love can love no more. Well,